Good evening. Welcome to Gut Health Talk. Tonight we're going to make magnesium gel deodorant while we chit chat. So buckle up, partner. It's gonna be a fun ride. Howdy, howdy. I got new tubes for my magnesium roll-on. These have been all the rage recently with my deodorant sensitive people. Hey Dee, what's up? So these are cute. I think the stickers are gonna stick better on this one. I've been using this style and it's kind of round and tapered. See it? And then it has a twist off. Yeah, you should make it. It has a twist off top so you can refill it. Yeah, I figured my husband's almost out. So I'm going to refill ours while we're at it. And we're just going to make a big batch of this while we chit chat about gut health. Because that's way more fun than just sitting here. And these tubes just came in. I ordered them like a month ago. Yeah, I got them on Amazon. There was like a delayed shipping situation, so it took a little bit for it to get to me. Trying to decide what size of a batch I want to make. I think I should double it. I think I should probably double it. I think the single batch only makes 900 grams. It's like 32 ounces. Actually, that might be okay. Yeah, I can send you the link to the tubes. I actually have, if you DM me, I'll send you the recipe for the magnesium gel deodorant, and I'll put the link to that in the file so you can get to it really easily. Okay, so let's get this set aside, and I'm going to take these lids off, and we'll start our conversation on gut health. Of course. So how many of you guys have been around for a while and have heard me talk about gut health? I know a couple of you have been here for some rants of mine in the past. I don't know, Alyssa's not here yet. A lot of my regular friends aren't here yet. Let me see. I don't know, and nobody's online. That's okay. Everybody's busy. So gut health is like the most important part of your health. If your gut is messed up, everything's going to be messed up. It's in control of what nutrients you get. And if you're not getting enough nutrients, it's a cascading issue. You just continually have more and more and more troubles. So keeping your stomach acids strong, keeping your intestinal lining thick and fluffy, keeping your bowels moving regularly is super, super important. And bolstering your microbial friends, but meaning eating fermented foods, using a prebiotic is one way, and eating fiber-rich foods that have lots of polyphenols like red cabbage, pomegranates, any fruit, raspberries, anything with red. Apples are especially good. And some citrus is really good because of the pectin. Those are all very healing foods to the gut. So when you add in those foods that have lots of good polyphenols, it feeds the Akkermansia, which is one of the most populous microbes in your gut. And when you don't feed the Akkermansia eats the mucus lining of your gut. So it's a big cause of leaky gut. If you have low Akkermansia, you're going to have all kinds of issues. So those are super important foods to eat. And then there's also a thing called postbiotics, which can be really helpful as well. They sell those as supplements, or you get postbiotics when you like cook a fermented food. That would create postbiotic fibers and microbes for you. It's pretty cool. Gotta go. Catch you later, girl. All right. So I am going to get my big jar here. We're going to make this magnesium gel deodorant. So a couple things we have to do right out the gate is we need to dilute our thickening agent, and it's just a plant cellulose and xanthan gum is what I use to thicken my gels. So they're both like they're food-based things. They put it in our food all the time, but this is for topical use. So it gives it a really nice slip and a thickness. It helps it absorb better. And I find a lot of people like it a lot better for getting magnesium over like a spray. The spray doesn't absorb super well. So this is a very, very good option. So here I'm going to measure out my heck, and I only need 2 grams of this. So it's like hardly anything. You use barely any of the thickener. It's like the tiniest amount. I had to buy a special scale that would measure this low because the postage scale I was using wouldn't read below like an ounce. It was crazy. So I got a special scale. I got it on Amazon. It wasn't that expensive. I think it was like $30. And it's been really nice. My only complaint about this scale is that it will fall asleep on me on occasion, and it does not save the number that was on there when it falls asleep. So that's a little tricky. Okay, so the xanthan gum, I only need 0.9 of a gram, so not very much. So I'm going to put this in really slow. Okay, that was enough. That's all we needed. Okay, so for this, we're going to put this in a vegetable glycerin, and this is going to help our fibers in the cellulose and the xanthan gum to kind of bloom. It's kind of similar to like a gelatin situation in the way that it likes to bloom. So it takes a minute to get activated. All right, I need 40 grams of this vegetable glycerin. Vegetable glycerin is also a humectant, so it's really like nice and moisturizing to the skin, and it has a really nice slip to it, so it adds to that really good like roll-on quality in this formulation. I like it a lot. I tried it without the glycerin, and it wasn't quite as smooth. So we're a fan of that. So I just add the glycerin in and give it a nice mix, and that is both of our thickeners and our glycerin. And then the only other ingredients in this recipe is actually magnesium, water, and aloe vera juice. And then for this, you do need to get a preservative just for safety. I use Germall Plus. It's one of the cleanest preservatives. It does a really good job keeping buggies from growing in there. If you're going to use something that's like in a pump, a lot of times you can get away with not using a preservative in a magnesium-based product. But when you are rolling it on your skin and your skin cells and stuff are getting inside of the container, you want to make sure that you've got something in there to protect you from any sort of things growing. That would be no good. All right, so to this, I am going to add my Germall. So this is my preservative, and we did this at 5.5% in the recipe, which you can learn all these percentage things in the recipe that I'll send you how to do that. Hi, Shirley. Tear your scale, and we need 4.5 grams. It's not very much. It's a very small amount, but it'll keep bad stuff from growing in there. That's what we want. There we go, 4.5 on the dot. We want it to be safe. Hi, Tori. Hi, friend. Does anybody have any questions? Anybody have any crazy things going on that you're like, I don't know what this is? Unexplained illnesses or symptoms. I love those kind of questions. I might have strange insights for you. Microbial insights even. Okay, so I need a canning funnel. Hold on one second. One second. This is going to help a lot. Is this recipe posted on school? It will be. I will post this recipe on school since I decided to do it in the class tonight. How am I feeling? I look great. I feel pretty good. I'm still a little boogery. I've had some drainage in the sinuses. So yeah, it's clearing. I'm definitely like blowing some stuff out. It's not been the most pleasant. Okay, so for magnesium, lotions, gels, any sort of topical magnesium, you want to use magnesium chloride. That is your best form, and they come in crystals like this. And this is Dead Sea salt, basically. So it's got high magnesium content, trace minerals, all sorts of good stuff in it. And this one I need, it's about 30% of the recipe. So 222 grams of the magnesium. And that's going to dilute into the water and the aloe vera really nicely. And this is not a 50-50 liquid to magnesium situation. And a lot of those recipes are like the magnesium oils and stuff. And people are like, my skin peeled off. I had red circles on. Yeah, it's like it was a really high concentration of magnesium, guys. It's a lot. That'll definitely, it can happen. It'll burn. So mine is not that high of a concentration. And guess what? You don't need a crazy high concentration when you do topical. And it still works fantastic. My client, babysitting parent, they always get deodorant from me. And I recently switched from making solid deodorant to making this gel deodorant. And he wanted some more of the solid deodorant. And I was like, here, just give him this. Have him try it. Gave her a gel deodorant. And she said, he says he needs that stuff on a drip. I was like, okay, that's cool. I could teach you how to make it. It's pretty easy. Okay, so we need water. This is filtered water that has been heated up to help speed up the dilution. Okay, so 459 grams. My little inside hand blender is crapping out on me, so I need to use my outside hand blender. I hope it fits inside of the jar. I'm not sure if it will. Guess we could find out. All right. Let's go on an adventure. Just me and you. We're gonna go on an adventure. Okay, let's go see. I think I have a really cute little cordless KitchenAid blender, hand blender, stick blender. And it is the battery on it's crapping out. This is defrosting. Say hello, freeze dryer. let me tell you guys a story about this. So my friend comes over for this play group that I host with the Weston A. Price moms of the area who have younger kids. And so she comes over, she brings her 2-year-old. Her 2-year-old is adorable and feral, and every time she comes to my house, she gets butt naked, like without fail. She's so funny. So I always tell her mom, I'm like, your baby is my spirit animal. And she's like, oh, I'm glad you're not mad. I'm like, no, I don't care. Naked babies are what babies are for. Anyway, she texted me and was like, you said you could freeze dry raw eggs, right? I was like, yes. And she's like, is your freeze dryer available right now? I was like, in fact, it is. What can I do for you? And she's like, well, I work at this food bank and I came into a few eggs. I was like, oh, a few. Okay. And she's like, how much is the capacity? And so I looked it up online on Harvester. I just like searched it up. I was like, how many eggs, raw eggs, can you put in the freeze dryer? It was like 91 to 140 eggs can go in there on the 6 trays. And she was like, okay, well that gets rid of some of them. And I was like, oh my, how many eggs do you have? And she was like, well, I work at this food bank and they had this donation of organic eggs and they were going to throw them away if nobody took them. And so I took them, all of them. And I was like, how many did you take? And she said, 40 dozen. I was like, oh my God, I would have done the exact same thing. I would have done the exact same thing. Okay. Got my blender. I got to figure out where I'm going to plug it in here. We're going on a trip here. Close the door. So if you guys have been following, you probably saw that I am getting a new mattress. And it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. I'm so freaking excited. Okay, I need a plug. I'm going to find a plug. Ooh, don't fall on the floor. Damn it. Okay, finding a plug. What else does everybody else have going on? Anybody doing anything fun or exciting in May? It's almost May. Oh my God, I'm going to be on a podcast on Friday. I love going on podcasts. It's so much fun. So excited. Okay, got a plug. I'm going to be on the new Wise Traditions podcast hosted by Miss Kendall Nielsen, I think is her last name. Let me double check. She's cool. She's a filmmaker. She's doing a Kendall Nelson. She's doing a film on the Weston A. Price Foundation. So that should be pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right. Here we are again. I'm going to put you guys on my tripod. Okay. A little further away. See you over here. Okay. Here we go. We're good. Okay, so what we do now is we're going to add the aloe vera. So I'm going to turn my scale back on. This is what I was talking about with the scale falling asleep on us. It's not the best. Oh, I lost my recipe. I'm getting hungry. Ready for some dinner. I need 127 grams of the aloe vera juice. This you can drink if you like. It's whole leaf filtered aloe vera juice. It's not organic, which is why I use it for topical and not for drinking. But I think they have an organic version. Keeps in the fridge for quite a long time. I am going to put 127 grams in here. And that's going to give it a really nice skin moisturizing. Really soothing, makes it less burny, less itchy, all those things that people complain about with a magnesium. this gets rid of it. So we're going to blend it up real quick. Hopefully not too loud for you. I should have done a double batch. We'll see, but it looks like I should have done a double batch. So now this is pretty hot. So we're gonna let this sit and cool off for a little bit, okay? We want it to be below, I believe it's 140 degrees. They don't say it on the bottle. I don't know why they don't put that on the bottle, but it's like below 140 degrees. So I'll check its temperature periodically. And then at that point, we can add in our germal. Actually, it's actually at that level. It feels really warm on the outside, but it's like 115 on the inside. So we could add it. I bet the aloe vera cooled it down. Yeah, it's already cooled down. It's like a nice tepid bath in there. So now this is our heck and our xanthan gum. I really like the combination of the two things. You buy a bag of both of those and it'll last you 100 million years. Like, you use so little of it in a recipe like this, but it does so much for the texture, and it makes this such a better product than it was when it was just like the xanthan gum. The heck helps a lot. It just feels really smooth. It's really, really nice. And you can put this into a pump bottle as well. Does not necessarily have to be in a roll-on. If you're going to use it a lot, if you have a lot of surface area to cover, put that sucker in a pump and just slather yourself up in it. At this point, if you want to add essential oils once it's cooled down, you can. If you are into that kind of thing. You could also, in place of doing water, you could make a tea, like infuse arnica and cayenne or something into a water and then use that as the base. So you can do it as like a pain relieving thing where you put it on your sore joints. I just want to make sure that this is like fully dispersed before I put it into my tubes. Okay. I want to make sure it is completely mixed. And then I'm going to use this thing. You probably won't have one of these. This is like big time nerd mode, okay? I make a lot of cosmetics. It makes my life easier. So you can just pour it out of this thing, or you can put it into a little dropper bottles or whatever works for you, okay? So what you do is kind of have to watch it as it fills up. And I just pour it while it's still liquid, and it will gel up in your container. So you're going to want to leave this container's lid open for a couple hours until it's completely cooled off. So that way, if you put it in there, you don't want it to have a bunch of condensation in there. Okay, there we go. And I should have doubled this. It's okay. I like mixing it a lot in this big mason jar because it makes it really, really easy. It doesn't splash. As long as you're making small batches like this, of course. You could potentially mix in a gallon-sized jar. If you're making more than that. Vanessa, do I sell these? Yes. I don't sell them on my website. You have to reach out to me directly. Hi, Alyssa. All right. My kids are at my mom's house, and so she was going to have them sleep over, but now they're not. So I'm going to have to go pick them up here in a minute. I'm going to make a second batch of this because I want to fill up all of these tubes. I filled up my husband's and my deodorants. And I still have like a couple more tubes, and it's kind of like, if I'm going to make it, I might as well make enough. So I need to like double down on that recipe for me. But for you guys, it would have made, yeah, I think we're going to recipe and a half it or something for you guys, because then you could make all 10 of them and just give them, sell them to people, give them whatever you want to do. Hand them out to your friends. Kids aren't behaving in public at the moment. Sleepover sounds great. Yeah. Well, so my mom's got a new dude moving into her basement. And so we're not like cool with our kids sleeping over at people's houses when there's like a random dude there. My mom's like, oh, but he's been vetted. I'm like, oh yeah, they went through his internet search history and like followed him at night to see what he's doing. You don't know what he does. He's a strange man. Sorry, not sorry. Your church vetting is not enough for us to trust our kid alone with him. And that's just the cold hard truth of it. Okay, tear vegetable 40. Like, I'm sorry, you guys aren't scared enough of the stuff people do to children. Oh, that was an empty one, thankfully. Okay. I don't blame you. Oh man, yeah. I'd choose keeping the crazies with me too. Yeah. My husband's like, just blame it on me. I'm like, okay. I wouldn't even allow all families to keep the kids alone. Yeah. Seriously, not same. They're not all qualified to watch children. Do not have the experience to not let them get kidnapped. Okay, I'm going to put this germol in here. But that's how fast that is. Like, I just made a whole batch. It's only 5:30, so it took me less than 30 minutes, and I was like putzing around talking about gut health, opening stuff, so it wasn't like I was like working the whole time. Okay, let's get this going back in here again. One more again. All right, put that lid on there. You want to make sure that you're weighing and tearing all of the items that are not your product. We're going to add in our magnesium, 272. This lid. 2. I give this container an F minus. 2. $2.72. What did I make? I made a batch of magnesium gel roll-on deodorant that happens to not be enough to fill up these bigger containers that I got. So we're just gonna make another batch because we can. All right, water. We're doing, it has water, 459. If you get a little more water in there, not really a crazy big deal. It's like, whatever. It's fine. It's not going to hurt it that much. Okay. And then we're going to tear this and add our aloe vera to that. And that's going to be 127. It's a big splash. Oh, we're rolling dice right now. 22. I overshot it just a skosh. You've been out for like a month. Oh no. Oh no. Gotta get it together. Blend it. I should take one of these to my mother. Okay. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. We can add all the stuff right now. That's pretty sweet. The refrigerated aloe vera juice, like the coldness of it helps a lot. So hot take. Keep it in the fridge. And if you think there's no way I'm going to use that whole bottle, you could freeze it in like ice cube trays or something. And then just thaw out a couple as needed for your project or whatever. And then you have these aloe vera ice cubes that you could just put on your face, put on a mosquito bite, throw in a adrenal cocktail for an extra boost of potassium. Take 2 of them a day to help with your thyroid health, you know? Would make a really easy thing to add on. Throw a couple cubes of that in your water. It doesn't actually taste bad in water. It's pretty tasty. So, just a thought. Let me get this. You guys, I'm so unreasonably excited for this new mattress. We've been sleeping on a purple mattress for 10 years and we didn't even really like it when we got it. Like it was kind of, we bought it like a discount, like somebody else returned it and we bought it from the guy who picked it up from the return. Shady. And this is almost halfway to lotion. Like you basically do one more step to start making lotion. This, you could use this as that base and then do the oils. Did it get there? I don't know what you're talking about. What did I say? Are the ingredients on my Amazon page? I believe so. I will double check. I'm going to put a recipe together for school and I'll put links in there. I'll do it after I go get the kids. So you guys can go back, watch the class. We're not really talking about gut health that much, but this is also fun. No one has any questions, then I'm just going to make deodorant and it's all good. My friend today, she texted me and said, my son's he puked like a lot and he has diarrhea now and his tummy hurts and like cramping. I'm like, oh yeah, that's going around. So she's like, I think we need kombucha. I was like, yeah, that would help. Kombucha would be good. And then also you could give him some fermented veggie juice. And she's like the sauerkraut we got from you? It's like, yes. She's like, I think we still have some. I'm like, perfect. Give him the juice from that and he'll start feeling a lot better. She's like, can I still come get kombucha from you tomorrow? I'm like, yes, you can. That is fine. Okay. So I'm going to have some extra gel here. So I need to figure out what container I want to put this in. I've got that's nearly 2 cups. So I might have some 8-ounce pumps laying around. Let's go on an adventure. Let's go on an adventure. We're gonna go see what I've got. I've got a whole bunch of stashed containers. I don't think it would work in the cosmetic pump that I use for my fancy face oil stuff, but I think it would work in one of these pumps. Let me see. I've got foamer pumps that I never use. I should donate them or something. Actually, is that my regular pumps? Oh yeah, I got regular pumps. I got all this random packaging. These are just basic plastic pumps. And they work fine. For magnesium lotion and magnesium gel. So I'll probably do those. I'm paring down my essential oil stuff. I need to get some more tubes. I haven't ordered tubes yet. And it is almost May, so I need to do that now. Yesterday. Okay. So we gotta cut down these sticks real quick. I'm gonna put you guys back on your stand. I'm gonna do 2 pumps of this. And you can always get a pump of this and use it to refill your tube if you wanna. Okay, so on this one, this is how it started. I made a pump for my friend. She was like, I love your deodorant, but it keeps getting on my clothes. And I was like, well, we can't have that. So what you do is you line up the pump head and you cut off the bottom so it'll be floating inside the thing. So 1/4 of an inch, because you want to make sure, that the pump will pump. If you don't do that, then a lot of times people are like, my pump didn't work. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And that's usually why. Because I forgot to cut it pretty much. Let's see. How did I do? Oh. Take a little bit of this and put it on this one. Cool. I'll use this half full guy as my tester. That's how that goes down. Double batch almost makes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 3-ouncers, 2 2.5ers, and an 8 and a 4-ounce. I think that's pretty good. That was a pretty big batch. That should last me at least a minute. People were getting them a lot for a second there, so I was like, I'm running out. So yeah, that's pretty easy. Anybody have any questions on the magnesium gel? Or we could talk about the gut health stuff if any of these new arrivals have any questions for me on that topic. I'm probably going to get off in like 15-ish minutes. So I'm going to hang out and we'll chit chat for a little bit. I learned about a new thing. It's called postbiotic. And it is the stuff left over after the fermentation and the fermented microbes die off. What they leave is the postbiotic. Very interesting. Would psyllium and DE help detox out gluten exposure for someone allergic? Yeah, probably. And charcoal too. Charcoal would be really good. Hold on, I'm gonna blow my nose, guys. 1 second. I've got this sinus infection. Take off my microphone so you don't have to listen to that. I'm still blowing some gross stuff out of my nose. God, I love it. So I've been sleeping with my red light like around my head until I kick it off. I don't know how long I last, but that seems to help. I feel really good in the morning. She wanted gentle, so psyllium and DE in a detox bath. Yeah, really light on the DE though. Like even psyllium by itself would probably be okay. Like maybe 1/4 of a teaspoon of DE. Charcoal would block a med she's on. I gotcha. That makes sense. That makes sense. I'm gonna get some of this nose spray. Hold on. I've been using this hypochlorous acid nose spray, but I need to do it like persistently to like get things moving, and it's like super antimicrobial, works really, really good to get things out. And I've been like working on my jaw and my undernose because I've got this, I could feel it in my teeth. You ever get a sinus infection and it makes your teeth hurt? Does anyone else have that happen? And you're like, I need to go to the dentist, but it's actually a sinus infection. I finally like figured out that connection that like when I get something in my sinuses, it'll make the teeth hurt. It'll make them sensitive when I bite down. Yeah, they like ache. Oh, we have a little bug in our house and the kids are liking chamomile and lavender, peppermint, and thyme in the diffuser. Ooh, that sounds good. So I'm always like pushing on it because I'm like, I feel like if I push on it, maybe it'll drain out. Maybe it'll drain out. I don't know. So I'm working on that. And then the red light on my face. And then I've been doing castor oil. And then I want to do my gua sha, but I ran out of oil down in my bathtub. That's where our gua sha lives, is in the bathtub. And so I need to refill that so I could do the gua sha with it. It's always your upper back teeth. Yeah, mine depend on which sinus is bothering me. It hurts a little bit through here. I'm like flipping you guys off, sorry. Flips a little bit, hurts a little bit through here. And then I could feel it just like full right here. And a lot of times I'll go to blow it and nothing will want to come out. And then something will like drop and I'm like, and it's just a lump of green, yellow nastiness. You can also put these oils on rice, heat it up, and put it on your sinuses. Oh yeah. That's fun. Yeah, I probably have all of those. I really don't use essential oils all that much just because they are, a lot of them are endocrine disrupting. So I will put them occasionally in soap, but for the most part, I don't really use them all that much. I don't know. I'm still like, I was a big essential oil user for a long time. And they can definitely have effects on the body. But I don't know if they're always necessarily a good thing. Like too much lavender can be a problem, but like a little lavender tea a couple times a week, probably fine. But when you have like hundreds of thousands of lavender plants that you've taken all of their VOCs from, crammed down into a single bottle, I mean, it's called a VOC for a reason. Like it can be pretty volatile, and it can be phytoestrogenic and can cause some issues when you use it too much. So having all these like essential oil scented things around is like, has a negative impact on stuff, just like having fragrance around. Yeah, I've been being super careful with them. Gave them so much relief. Yeah, it's hard to skip when they're miserable and refuse to do meds. Yeah, I get that. I totally get that. Yeah, I used to use them a lot. Like I've been there, done that. My hormones were a little out of whack when I was using a lot of essential oils. So it's like, it's a whole can of worms, you know? It's a whole can of worms. I went to this talk with my friend Zora, and she's so cute. She's so cute. She like, I want to introduce you to people. Maybe you can do a talk for our group or something. Okay, maybe. I think really she just wanted me to drive her, which is fine. Like, I will drive you. It was food. They had food. It was okay tasting. I definitely had like a digestive response to whatever I ate. No, can't tell you exactly which thing it was that I had a adverse response to, but it gave me like pretty much instantaneous gas. And then I was like, well, I'm not going to sit in here and just like in the meeting. So I went to the bathroom, and sure enough, there was an interesting poop to follow. So I'm not sure what it was that I ate that did that, but that happened during that talk. So I missed a good portion of it. That's why I don't love restaurant food, you know. That's like, it was like a dose of glyphosate or something, is what I imagine, because after breaking down what each item was, there was definitely a gravy on both of the both potatoes and the tri-tip that I ate, and I'm like, okay, they definitely used crappy flour to make that. So yeah. And then, shocker, right after that, I got a sinus infection. This is why we can't have nice things, people. This is why we can't have nice things. It's the things you don't think about. And they're like, I'm intolerant to gluten. I'm like, no, you're intolerant to getting your microbiome murdered every time you eat a glyphosate sandwich. Sometimes there's like an instant mood drop when eating out. Yeah. Then the stomach issues that follow fast after. Yes. Yeah, it's the freaking glyphosate on the flour. And I tried to pick, you know, I was being smart about it because the other item was breaded. And so I was like, I'm not eating that one, obviously. Breaded and fried, no thank you. You can keep your glyphosate freaking seed oil soup over there. I don't want it. But I'm sure I still got some. And yeah, so we're rebuilding. Lots of kefir, drinking lots of kefir, and doing lots of vitamin C. Like, I don't feel terrible. I just have like boogers, and my voice is a little scratchy. And when I lay down, the boogers redistribute themselves and then I will cough a little bit. So that's where I'm at in my sinus infection. This is all aftermath of eating out. And nobody else would make that connection. But I do it so rarely and I eat so clean that when something happens, I'm like, I know exactly what that was. My bad. Sometimes you just pay, you want to do something fun and you just pay for it later. And that happens sometimes. And you just try not to make a habit of it and get used to feeling bad all the time. You know? Don't let yourself get in the habit of feeling bad. So what do I do after I have that kind of thing happen? Well, I immediately went to Natural Grocers and I got whole chickens that were air chilled, organic whole chickens. I brought them home. I made meat stock and I drank meat stock. And I ate apples and I made stewed apples. Okay. So these are all things that you could do to rebuild your gut's defenses, rebuild your gut lining, feed your Akkermansia that you just murder killed on accident because you ate the glyphosate bathed restaurant goodie. Okay. So if you're going out to eat 4, 5, 6 times a week and you're just murder killing your microbiome every single time you go out, you can see how that could be a cumulative problem. Like you're eating strange food, mystery meat. You don't know what they're serving you. Majority of restaurants, unless it's like a farm to table, organic, local produce, like super clean, sustainable type of restaurant, they're feeding you the cheapest possible thing that they can get away with. So they're not giving you organic flour for their roux, for the gravy. No, they're using the shittiest, cheapest flour. And you're going to pay for it. They're not frying your food in good quality oil. They're frying it in the cheapest possible oil they can get. They're all just going to the same restaurant supply or getting it delivered from Cisco, and their bottom dollar is the most important thing, not your health. So it is literally detrimental to your health to eat out at the majority of restaurants. Detrimental. Like, it puts you back every time you do it. You could do pretty well at most restaurants. You could try to be fairly clean. Like, I'm going to have it without a bun. I'm going to get no sauce because it's probably got seed oils in it. I could, get just plain broccoli. Can I get it with butter and be that pain in the butt customer? Sure, you could do that. You can. That is how I prefer to dine, as a pain in the butt customer, because I deserve to eat food that's edible. Okay. Like 90% of the food I get at a restaurant, I'm like, I wouldn't serve this to a person. This is gross. Like I wouldn't even feed this to my chickens. Like, why would you give me this? And it smells like mildew and like, sorry, I sound like a bitch, but I kind of am. I don't want to put garbage food in my body, okay? It's not worth it. I don't care how good it tastes. Now, if I'm going to go to like a Michelin star restaurant, something super fancy, you know what they do at Michelin star restaurants that make them Michelin star restaurants? They pay attention to their ingredients and they use good ingredients. Okay. So, all right, I'm going to go to a Michelin star restaurant. Would it be worth the damage? Sure. But going to like the Greasy Spoon down the street for their like really cruddy quality eggs and their glyphosate toast and their like fried steak and going on with your day, like the damage you did in that one meal it sets you back. You're like, why do I get sick all the time? Because you're murder killing your microbiome. Every time you eat out at a restaurant like that, you're murder killing your microbiome. And it sucks. And it's not fun to not get to eat out. Sometimes you pay the price. I could have gone and been like, I'll just sit here But that would have been so rude. I did turn down the cornbread because I was like, nah, I know that's not good corn. I know that's not good flour. I'm good on that. And they're like, do you want this water? I'm like, no, I'm okay. I don't drink tap water. It seems rude, but just like people don't think about where the water comes from and what's in that water. They don't think about it at all. We were at one restaurant. It was a pickleball restaurant. And the guy was asked me and my 4 friends sitting at the bar. We all have our water bottles. And he goes, you guys want anything? You want water or something? And we're like, we're good on our pharmaceuticals. Thanks, buddy. Oh, my God. You can be such a good snob. You know, I pick my things. I'm like the chillest person. Like, my friend's toddler runs through the house naked and, like, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. But you put a red dye 40 bright blue birthday cake piece in front of me and I'm not going to eat it. I'll talk to you later, Alyssa. Yeah, I'm super picky about food. That is one area that it's just worth it. I feel so much better when I don't eat like shit. Then it is what it is. And you know what? A lot of these people don't freaking know that they're eating shit. They don't get it. I'm like, you go to a restaurant and you're like, hi, do you know if your seasonings use MSG? And they're like, what's MSG? Like, MSG, it's a seasoning often used in food. Can you just ask the cook if they use MSG? You brought your own condiments. That's so fun. I love that so much. I love that so much. Yeah, I used to bring in water. I don't even drink when I eat anymore, so I don't even bring water anymore. And I'll be like, I'm good. I don't need it. And the waitress will look at me like, you don't want the free water? I'm like, no. I don't drink when I eat. And she's like, oh, okay. And she'll just leave it there. Like, I'm going to change my mind. I don't. My kids and my husband are like, oh, precious tap water. Don't. Ice cold water is so delicious. Like, we have ice at our house. I promise. Like, they drink it like they got the fluoride deficiency. Oh, yeah. Anywho, I am going to hit the road because I gotta go pick my children up. Thought they were going to sleep over, but they're not. So I'm going to go collect them from their grandmas before Daddy gets home. Yes, and the ice is moldy. Yes. I don't do restaurant beverages anymore. That's disgusting. Their ice machines are nasty. Hey guys, I'm just wrapping up. To those who popped in, I'm about to post the replay, so go catch the replay here in just a second. I will share the magnesium gel recipe again and make sure that the new tubes are on there. And we will see you guys next week. Bye.